Hello, welcome back, and thanks so much for joining us here at Tech and AI Live London. We're running just a couple of minutes late, so we've got to crack straight on, I'm very pleased to say, with another keynote. And the subject of this one is AI-powered cloud transformation, unlocking full potential. And our expert speaker right now is Alper Benli. He's Head of Transformation and Strategic Programs for Europe and Latin America, Cloud Software and Services at Ericsson. Hi, Alper. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really good to see you and have you here. Well, look, straight over to you, if you will.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me. So today I'll be taking you through about the AI-powered transformation in service providers. I'll start with how the market looks like at the moment, especially when it comes to 5G mobile subscriptions, what AI really means for the telco industry, and what are some key strategies for CSPs to follow to become an artificial intelligence native organization. But before we go into the details, let's take a step back and have a look at the current market landscape. So first of all, the mobile industry is growing so fast. 5G remains on track to become the fastest adopted mobile generation in the history. At the end of 2023, 5G mobile subscriptions reached 1.6 billion. Only during Q4 2023, by the way, we added 154 million additional 5G subscriptions into our networks. And by the way, that represents the 20% of all mobile subscriptions. We have more than 290 CSPs have launched their commercial 5G services, and over 40 of them have deployed or launched 5G standalone networks. Mobile data traffic, it keeps increasing as well, so that's really good news. So the global average monthly data usage reached 21 gigabytes at the end of 2023, and we are anticipating that number to reach to 56 gigabytes in 2029. So it's a quite dynamic market, and over the last 3 years, we see that the global mobile service revenue has grown at an annual rate of 4.6%. So 5G is definitely will become the leading smartphone connection type. Our estimation is that by the end of 2025, so more than 50% of the connection types will be 5G. And the 5G mobile subscriptions, we are anticipating that will reach to 5 billion in 2028. So we will see increased adoption of AI. So that's really critical that we just keep our focus on the artificial intelligence part, because that's really going to help the entire market to maximize the full benefits of the 5G. But to do that, every organization needs to be an AI native organization to control their cost and drive their growth. But the question might be here, so what exactly that means, right? So what are the key building blocks, or what are the characteristics of the AI native organization? So the key building blocks here is, first of all, when you look at the successful AI native organization, the executive ownership is really critical. So you need to just have as artificial intelligence as a top-down priority, starting from the CEO office and handshake with all the C-level contributors. That's really critical for building up a successful AI native organization. The second most important thing is the business-led aligned roadmap. So that starts top-down. So you need to have the right stakeholders involved and contributed to your roadmap. And they need to define their right priorities from business perspective. And once this is handshake, so that needs to be cascaded to the different teams, and they need to make further alignment on their end. So you need to have end-to-end holistic roadmap. You can't just isolate too many roadmap and use cases in your organization. When you look at the successful AI native organization, one of the characteristics is that so they are just rethinking about the operating model. And when we look at the new developing technologies, it's redefining our relationship with our customers, with our partners, with our employees, the relationship between the teams. So that's the entire model that we need to be thinking about from scratch. So that's really important. We focus on that one, rather than just going and trying to deploy some couple of use cases there and here and there. That's not going to really work, and that organization will likely fail. So having right technology is also really important. But that's not only that one, the right skills will follow that one as well. So investing on the trustworthy artificial intelligence, but more importantly, ability to change. So how we can quickly adopt our organization for this big change and how we can execute well, that will define the success of that organization. AI will bring a lot of benefits in the area of data management and security, but it's also bringing some challenges and new questions in that space as well. So we need to be really thinking about the data management, security, and privacy aspects. So, but if you just, go further down the details, so what exactly AI means in telecoms and which areas we see the most common use cases. So AI is going to definitely create a lot of value across different areas. So for the CSPs especially, so that will open opportunities to optimize their networks better. So we will see more networks with the self-healing and self-optimizing capabilities. So that will enable new revenue streams as well. We'll be seeing more personalized service offerings to our customers. That will improve security, although, as I said, that will bring some challenges in the area of security, but ultimately that will bring a lot of efficiency and improvement in the security area as well. It will improve the sustainability part. So with the AI technology embedded into our products and processes, so we'll be able to deploy more eco-friendly technologies and we'll be able to reduce our energy consumption. Customer service, definitely there's a big transformation on the customer service part as well, together with the artificial intelligence. So that will definitely improve the customer service. So we will see this entire entire customer service journey will be digitalized, that will be personalized, and that will just get much and much faster. And last but not least, the performance part. So that will help boosting the organizational operational efficiency and productivity quite a lot. So the question is, there are definitely a lot of benefits across different areas, but the question might be, so what other organizations are doing? So what exactly they are prioritizing? What are they working and focusing on? So to answer to that question, we conduct a survey as Ericsson. So during that survey, we ask senior executives and decision makers from 132 different service providers about their current and future plan in adopting artificial intelligence into their networks. And one key finding is that the primary focus is lowering the operational cost, and 70% of the customer service operators, communication service providers, they believe that the highest potential return from AI adoption is going to be in the network planning area. So if you look at the graph on the right-hand side, you see the network planning is the highest one with the 70%. The second one is network performance management with 64%. By the way, I think there are a lot of overlaps in those areas as well. There's a big opportunity in the SLA management part with 60%. Product lifecycle management part, it's getting more challenging, especially with the new technologies. If you take, for instance, cloud native technologies, we see more frequent releases coming up. And it's maybe sometimes difficult for CSPs to cope up with the pace of this, new releases, upgrades, and updates. I think AI will bring a lot of efficiencies in that area in terms of proactively planning and managing those lifecycle management piece. Network management follows it with 51%. And last but not least, the revenue management in terms of the new revenue streams. That's the 48% of the CSPs believe that, so that will be the highest potential for returns on the AI investments. So interesting area is, I think the immediate focus seems like more on the operational efficiency part, so according to our survey. So although these areas seem to be a bit, immediate focus areas, I think becoming an AI native company, an AI native organization, it's a long journey and it's a marathon. So when we look at the service providers, like wanting to embed artificial intelligence into their networks, worldwide, 77% of the CSPs, they want to embed AI into their networks. Right, that's their priority. If you go to North America, that number goes up to 83%. If you go to Southeast Asia and India, that number goes to 91%. So there is a quite big interest in that area. But it's really important to understand. So as an organization, where are you at this marathon, right? So that's really important for you to understand. Where are you? Did you start with this race yet? Or you're preparing for it, you already started with it. So in order to just, make a bit of put a bit of a structure around this, So we break this down into 4 main areas. So the first stage is the experimenter stage. So this is the operators in the experimenter state. Basically, they desire to start with the implementation of artificial intelligence. They haven't tested it yet, but they are planning to do so. And our recommendation for that CSPs is to define their goals as quickly as possible, collaborate with the other market players and the partners, and immediately start understanding what data you will need and ensure that the quality of that data is in place. That's really important for them to start immediately. The second stage is the visionary stage. So this is where the CSPs, they have the artificial intelligence vision exist already in their organization. Their implementation has started with some initiatives in the production part, but it's also critical for those CSPs to centralize their efforts, build a centralized cross-functional AI organization, working continuously on developing AI use cases, working across the teams, working across the different organizations, but also build a centralized data insight platform, which is really essential to scale the benefits of the AI initiatives anyway. The third stage are the operators and the CSPs in the professional state. So that means AI is already in their operations. They have multiple mature initiatives ongoing at the moment. And for them, our main recommendation will be to focus on the decentralization of the AI responsibility. If you look at, especially GenAI, I mean, it's quite popular nowadays, the democratization of the process is quite important. So if you go into a space where, AI is owned by a team or an organization where the other people is not, control or, contributing into that journey, you will never be able to scale and get the full benefit of the AI. So we call that one controlled democratization. Of course, there's going to be some regulation, rules, and skill set required. You can't just, open that space, everyone to your organization. But it's very important that you have small, agile teams in your organization. They brainstorm, they come up with ideas, and they develop their own use cases. And the last one, we don't see too many CSPs at that stage yet, the front runner stage. So this is the CSPs that organizational DNA is already transformed, and AI is broadly embedded into their organization. So they're on the monitoring stage, so they need to be monitoring their initiatives. They need to have their lessons learned and proactively plan for the next stage of the use cases. So I want you to remember 4 key pillars in that journey. So if you didn't start yet, so please assess your organization's maturity level as quickly as possible. That's really important. That will give you a personalized roadmap for you to be able to see the finish line. The second thing is ensure that you have a realistic business-led roadmap where you get the handshake from the different stakeholders. They are part of the process, be inclusive and make sure you have this end-to-end business-led roadmap is in place. And the third thing is start now. I mean, you don't need to wait. So there is no killer use case. I mean, stop searching for it. I mean, that's a reflection from the past as well. That's one of the mistakes we do as an industry as well. Don't spend time looking for the killer application or the use case, rather than, focus on the collaboration at scales and make the AI your priority. That's really important. Is that going to be easy? Maybe the question, no, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of challenges on the way forward when it comes to the AI native transformation. I mean, one of the biggest challenges I see is in the CSP connecting the dots. So currently, if you look at the CSPs, they are going through a lot of big transformations at the same time. They have transformation initiatives around digitalization. They have cloud native transformation, 5G, artificial intelligence, network refreshment, so many things. So it's a challenge in terms of how you can connect all these dots together and make the right prioritization and drive your strategy moving forward. The second challenge is the complex network structure. I think telecom industry is a bit unique. So if you look at our network, we have legacy systems, we have cloud systems, non-cloud systems, virtual, non-virtual. It's a quite multi-layered, multi-vendor and customized network, and where we see also a lot of interoperability issues. So in such a network, it's difficult in integrating AI and cloud with the existing structure. So we shouldn't be underestimating those challenges. Security, data growth, and privacy. I think it's great to have a big amount of data in our networks, and I believe personally we are not leveraging on that data enough. That's really great. That's providing a lot of opportunities for us. And I think it's critical for developing the most powerful use cases, but it also brings its own challenges around data privacy, around security, so on and so forth. Organizational silos that exist, I think, in every organization still. But I think, many of the organizations, they manage to survive. But I think with AI and cloud native in place, the isolated organizational structures, they will be bottleneck for all of the CSPs to become an AI native company. So we need to remove those silos. Lack of process and skills. Process and skills needs to be uplifted as we are transforming the technology part, and process and skills needs to be uplifted as well. So when we look at many of the companies, so we deploy new technologies, however, still working on the old processes and maybe, based on the old skills as well. So that needs to be an end-to-end transformation. If you don't that, you will, very likely to fail. And last but not least, the change management part, and people has to use this, right? So I think embracing a change, so sometimes might be difficult in some of the organization. So, but of course, there are ways to mitigate all of those risks. This is not, as an industry, we are really good at actually, going through many challenges over the time. And I'd like to share some implementation strategies. So when it comes to connecting the dots, I think especially executive ownership and alignment, it's really critical. So those big transformations, AI-related, cloud-related transformations, you need to have executive ownership and alignment, and that will help you to come up with an integrated roadmap in your organization. You need to have cross-functional teams sitting on top of different teams and organizations, and that will be quite instrumental for you to be able to connect all these dots. You need to continuously involve all the relevant stakeholders into the decision-making process. You need to continuously communicate with them about the recent update, changes, dependencies. So you need to just, have a right governance plan to connect all these dots. Complexity, standardization is a long-term journey for our industry. There's no magic wand, so we need to keep working on that. We need to speed up the IT modernization. We need to just get rid of the old technology, focusing on the decommissioning activities, focusing on the upgrade and updates. So we need to just refresh our network, because that will be the foundation to be able to capture the value of 5G and AI. You need to have the advanced monitoring tools. Those tools can be quite helpful to mitigate some of those complexities. And when you go into the implementation phase, you need to set the labs, you need to start small, you need to go iterative, start, make an incremental integration, in order to avoid the risk in your networks. Security and the data part, it's really important to ensure that you are investing on the trustworthy AI, right? Those technologies. And it's really also important and build the digital trust with your customers as well. And I think those three things are quite strongly connected with each other. All of the CSPs, they have a data governance framework, but we need to be just reviewing it, revisiting it, and transforming that part, because the amount of data now we are just getting into our networks, it's tremendous, and it will increase and increase and increase. So with the AI in place, so how we can just have a more flexible data governance framework to be able to capture all of this value. Invest in scalable and flexible storage solutions, and implement advanced data analytics platforms. That's also critical. People and process part, it's really important. When people start talking about AI, cloud, 5G, edge computing, those sort of technologies, we always miss the people and the process part. It's really important that the organizations have a strong change management framework. Big changes are happening. I think you need to be thinking about re-engineering your processes as well. So many of the processes in the organizations are quite old. With the new technology in place, they need to be re-engineered. I think thinking about structural organizational changes are important. As I said, our relationship with our customers, with our partners, with our teams, employees, it's changing. Our responsibilities are changing. So I think it's important to have an holistic approach and have a step back and think about the entire thing rather than finding a short-term solution, rethink our talent strategy, and overall developing a new target operating model aligned with this technological advancement. I think it's critical for the success of the CSPs. Having said that, I mean, I think the future is really bright for telecom industry. I believe AI has a tremendous potential to transform every aspect of the CSP operations. Moving forward in the future, we will see increased adoption of the AI. We will see some of the trends will be emerging as well, like AI, edge computing, cloud. So, and together when they emerge, I think that will shape the telecom industry and the rest of the world. We will see more personalized services with the help of artificial intelligence. I think the short-term priority, as I said, that will be more about self-healing, self-optimized networks, autonomous networks, and we'll see a lot of use cases on the predictive maintenance part as well. Security, yeah, there are challenges, but ultimately AI will help enhancing the security part. We'll see more and more use cases on the 5G networks, but beyond 5G, we are at the early stages and the trials of the 6G networks. And the 6G networks in the future will heavily also rely on AI technology to achieve their promise around the data speed, ultra-low latency, and all the IoT applications. So basically, what also we are doing right now is just building the foundations of future technologies as well. So a bit of a last message from my side. I think the future, I believe, is going to be a place for collaboration and innovation. So I encourage all of our partners, customers, consumers, we need to work together in creating connections. And that's the only way we can make the unimaginable possible. And with that, we can improve the lives, we can redefine the business, and we can together build a sustainable future. Thank you. I'm happy to...
Alper, that was brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. I've got to tell you, Alper, we've run out of time, but your presentation was so completely all-embracing and all-encompassing that it was absolutely riveting. Thank you. And if you want to catch up with anything that Alper was talking about, then of course we're going to make these available online on the website, probably from tomorrow onwards. So Alper, absolutely brilliant. It's such a pleasure hearing from you. Thanks a million, and I hope we'll speak again in the future.